in high definition from WBFF in Baltimore. This is Fox 45 News at 10.
Controversial art in West Baltimore. Why its location has some people very upset.
It occurred to us that the police might have picked them up.
Police and parenting. New questions tonight after their children were found playing 2 blocks away from home. Hello, I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Jennifer Gilbert. Tonight, a community is outraged by what they're calling excessive force by Baltimore police.
The suspected victim remains listed in critical condition at shock trauma, and as crime and justice reporter Joy LaPola explains, there are questions about whether police are responsive.
Tonight, at least 4 Baltimore police officers are under investigation by their department in hopes of finding out if the officers' actions landed a man in the hospital and listed in critical condition. This cell phone video
I just heard yelling like somebody was getting hurt.
Shows Freddie Gray already on the ground. Police say they chased him here to Gilmore Homes from North Avenue. The department won't say why they were trying to stop him.
We're not going to get into that because that's part of the investigation. There are charges against him that will be filed. We haven't interviewed all of the officers yet.
Friends say this is Gray tonight at shock trauma. The question for investigators is how he ended up in this condition after being loaded into a police van.
It's injuries that are serious enough to where we're concerned.
Neighbors I spoke to say they could hear Gray yelling.
It was chaos.
They shared what they saw but asked we not show their face.
Everybody sees the video. He looks responsive to me. He looks like he's, alert.
Friends watch as the van leaves. They think it's headed to the district. Right up until they heard Gray again yelling for help. The van had stopped and Gray was outside of the vehicle again.
It's a piece missing. After he left this block, something happened.
I asked Deputy Police Commissioner Jerry Rodriguez what he knew.
At some point, we believe that additional restraints were put on this individual, but I don't want to speculate and I don't want to give partial information.
Police returned to West Baltimore this morning to further investigate what happened.
It's injuries that are serious enough to where we're concerned. Right now, we know that this individual had contact with the police. We know that this individual suffered an injury. We don't know what the cause is yet.
The officers at the center of this investigation have been placed on administrative duty for the time being. Joy LaPola, Fox 45 News.
Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake continues to outline her steps to increase transparency and accountability for the police department. Rawlings-Blake has pledged to fund a program for police body cameras, even if the city doesn't get federal funding for the cameras. Today, she talked about the unexpected cost with implementing body cameras.
There's also responding to public requests for information. And that has, the cost for doing that has been a huge unanticipated cost for some jurisdictions. That's why I wanted to choose a more thoughtful approach to the implementation.
In February, a task force recommended that Baltimore should pursue a 6-month pilot program with body cameras on 100 police officers.
A developing story in northeast Baltimore tonight. A person was rushed to the hospital after being struck by a car. It happened along Harford Road about 7 o'clock tonight. No immediate information on the victim's condition at this time.
A manhunt is underway in North Carolina after a deadly shooting at a community college. Police say they're on the lookout for 20-year-old Kenneth Stansel. They believe Stansel walked into a building on the campus of Wayne Community College and shot an 18-year school employee to death. The incident happened in the school's print shop. The school went into lockdown after the shooting as teams of police officers searched and cleared each building on campus.
The search continues tonight for a man accused of killing his wife as the two worked the overnight shift at a Dunkin' Donuts in Hanover. Mary McKenzie says the violent crime has customers and employees shaken up and police on a manhunt.
Patrons at the Dunkin' Donuts in Hanover this morning immediately recognized Bhadresh Kumar Patel.
He would serve us coffee in the morning.
And say the man suspected of killing his wife after a fight inside the store last night had always seemed so well-mannered.
Very calm. I always thought he was very nice.
Police say it's not the first time they were called for a domestic dispute between the couple, who were both employees of the store. Still, last night's tragic events started strangely.
Patrons alerted an officer to an unusual situation. That situation was No one was working behind the counter, no employees here at the Dunkin' Donuts. The officer then went in, began checking the business. That's when he found the victim.
21-year-old Palak Patel was found dead in the kitchen, hit repeatedly, causing significant trauma, although police are not saying with what. Police say Bhadresh Kumar Patel fled the store and is still on the loose. It's all too much for this store employee.
I feel like it's an unsafe environment. It's kind of making me feel uncomfortable. If I were to go into work, I'd probably feel uncomfortable.
In Hanover, Mary McKenzie, Fox 45 News.
A mother is accused of abandoning her disabled son, leaving him alone in the woods for 5 days. Over the weekend, a hiker discovered the 21-year-old quadriplegic man along a trail in Philadelphia. He has cerebral palsy, he has no verbal communication skills, and depends on a wheelchair to get around. While police say his own mother left him there in the woods while she went to visit her boyfriend in Montgomery County, Maryland. The young man suffered a cut to his back that led to an infection as well as dehydration and malnutrition. The mother now facing charges including assault and reckless endangerment.
Baltimore police have arrested a woman for leaving her child locked inside a car. They say she was gambling at the Horseshoe Casino. Officers arrested 25-year-old Jade Germany inside the casino on Saturday after someone spotted the 3-year-old sleeping in a car on the 5th floor of the casino's parking garage. Police say the child had been left there with the window cracked about 3 inches with a juice box and a tablet, apparently to keep the child busy. The toddler was taken into the custody of Protective Services.
An Anne Arundel County police officer helps his department track down the man accused of shooting him and the woman they say was also at the scene. Anne Arundel County police say when Corporal Adams arrived at the 7-Eleven early Friday morning, he ran the tag number of a vehicle parked near a BGE power plant substation, unsure of why it was sitting there. Adams then went into the 7-Eleven to conduct a routine check of that business. Shortly after, he encountered the person who police say planned to rob the 7-Eleven. There was a chase that ended near the vehicle Adams first spotted when he arrived on the scene. Witnesses say they heard gunshots. Corporal Adams hit in the neck. Members of the department and Adams' wife spoke out today.
Before the officer was taken to the hospital, he was able to give us a description and some unique identifiers of the suspect and confirm to us that he did in fact run that vehicle on his mobile data computer.
It's definitely very overwhelming. I just am very overwhelmed to think of all the love and prayers. Our immediate family, his family, we're very, very touched by all of your love and support and all the positive wishes and prayers. So thank you very much.
The vehicle came back as registered to the woman who was also at the scene, identified as 29-year-old Danielle Blake, who has children with the other suspect. Police say she drove away from the scene and has been charged with conspiracy to commit first and second-degree murder, along with other charges. Adams' condition has been upgraded to stable.
A trip to the grocery store lands an Annapolis mother behind bars. Police say an employee at the Giant store in Annapolis spotted 38-year-old Lanika Steeb putting cosmetics into her purse. The employee stopped here when she tried to leave and call police. She told officers that she didn't have the means to buy a present for her daughter, so she swiped nearly $250 worth of cosmetics. Steed said the makeup was her daughter's present for getting her learner's permit. She's now facing theft charges.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio joining the race for President of the United States. The freshman senator making the announcement this evening in his hometown of Miami in front of a large crowd of supporters. Rubio acknowledging the campaign will not come easy with skeptics, but he remains loyal to his faith.
I recognize the challenges of this campaign, and I recognize the demands of this office that I seek. But in this endeavor, as in all things, I find comfort in the ancient command. Be strong and courageous. Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord, your God, is with you wherever you go.
Rubio joins a race already heating up. Both Senators Ted Cruz and Rand Paul announced their bids earlier this month.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will hold her first official event in the 2016 campaign tomorrow in Iowa. She climbed into a van for a 1,000-mile road trip from her home in Chappaqua, New York, to her first stop in Monticello, Iowa. She'll pass through key battleground states on the way, meeting voters. Now, some voters in Iowa remember her run in 2008 and now question how much of a middle-class champion Clinton actually is.
Ties to Wall Street. Some of the votes, as I understand from what I've read, that she has voted that have not been as strong on keeping the banks in line and lending.
Bill Clinton will not be at her side in Iowa at this point. One of Mrs. Clinton's potential challengers grabbed a little bit of a national attention on Saturday Night Live. Here's how the SNL writers imagined Hillary Clinton assessing her primary opponents and shooting a selfie video announcement.
I'm sure I will face some stiff competition from my fellow Democrats. People like Martin O'Malley, who could really give me a run for my money. I'm sorry I broke. It's too funny. Martin O'Malley instead of me. He sounds like a Simpsons character.
O'Malley responded quickly on his Twitter page, tweeting, quote, "For the record, I've always loved The Simpsons." Now, you can see the full parody segment by following the link on our website, foxbaltimore.com, and click on Around the Web.
Well, it's a late night for state lawmakers in Annapolis as they're rushing to meet a midnight deadline for the 2015 session, and a few key issues are still unresolved. John Rydell live at the State House with the last-minute turmoil. John.
Jennifer, dozens of bills remain in limbo, including a bill that would expand charter schools in Maryland, but they are actually making progress. Earlier tonight, the House of Delegates and Senate gave final approval to their versions of the state budget. Now, both the House and Senate have agreed to boost funding for Baltimore City and other jurisdictions where the cost of living is actually higher, but it is still unclear whether Governor Hogan will fully fund that extra amount. Now, Democrats say that is critical. And while the governor calls the budget passed by the House and Senate tonight irresponsible, he says taxpayers are still the winners.
The good news is we still have no tax increases for the first time in 8 years. I think we will get some of our tax relief proposals enacted, hopefully. And the budget is going to grow at a slower rate than it has in 40 years. So that's a big win.
Now, many bills did not survive this session, including a bill that would legalize assisted suicide, a bill to mandate convicted drunk drivers use an ignition interlock system, and several bills that would have called for more transparency in police departments. However, a bill did survive this session, and it requires all police-involved shootings that result in a death to be reported to a state agency every year. We're live in Annapolis. John Rydell, Fox 45 News.
Controversial art in West Baltimore. Why its location has some parents upset. Next on Fox 45 News at 10.
And a toddler falls into a cheetah exhibit. Why the child's parents may be to blame when the news at 10 continues.
And we saw a beautiful day out there today with nice warm temperatures. We're seeing the clouds gathering and the temperatures going down just a tad bit. 62 degrees at BWI. We do have some changes coming. I'm going to show you those changes and the rainfall, what we're going to see, how much potential coming up.
Baltimore County Police continue to look into the murder-suicide of a Parkville family found dead inside their home last week. Fox 45's Adam Yosem has new information released by investigators today.
Since this weekend, the collection of flowers and cards left by friends and neighbors has grown larger. People doing what they can to pay their respects for the Mendoza family, seen here in a photo from Facebook. A family found dead last week from a murder-suicide. One of the cards addressed to the Mendoza's 15-year-old daughter Molly, a student at Loch Raven High School. Grief counselors were on hand for students and staff today who returned to school after spring break. Today, police released more details on how all three were found by officers responding to a 911 call in reference to the mother not showing up to work. Police say the mother and father, Gilbert and Vadrana Mendoza, were found in their bedroom downstairs.
The female had multiple gunshot wounds and multiple stab wounds. The male had multiple stab wounds and a single gunshot wound.
Their daughter was found in a bedroom upstairs.
She had a single gunshot wound. Now, while the autopsies aren't final yet, investigators believe that the 15-year-old female was not the aggressor in the incident.
Police have an idea of what happened Friday, but are still waiting for autopsy results to confirm their suspicions. In Baltimore County, Adam Yosem, Fox 45 News.
New tonight, Jodi Arias sentenced to life in prison without parole. Arias was sentenced for the 2008 murder of her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander. She was found guilty of first-degree murder in 2013, but 2 juries were deadlocked on whether to sentence Arias to life in prison or death. The judge made the decision. The Arias family says they're relieved the case is finally over.
It's been rough on our family, too. You know, we haven't been here. I've been here every day of the trial, so Jodi's going to move on. We're all going to move on, and I'm just glad that it's done and over with.
Before sentencing, Arias said she was truly disgusted and repulsed with herself for what she did.
The white police officer in South Carolina charged with murder after shooting a black man after a traffic stop will not face the death penalty. The chief prosecutor in Charleston County says none of the factors needed to seek the death penalty apply in this case, such as kidnapping or robbery. But Michael Slager now faces another lawsuit. Newly released video shows Slager using a stun gun at a traffic stop last year. In the dash cam footage, Slager is the second officer to approach the scene after the driver, Julius Wilson, is pulled over. The suspect appears to be resisting arrest as the officers try to pull him from the vehicle. Once the suspect was on the ground, Slager seems to use the stun gun on him. Wilson is suing Slager and the other officers over the incident, claiming the stun gun caused injuries and wasn't necessary.
Well, art is sometimes about pushing boundaries. Paul Gessler reports from West Baltimore, where some neighbors say those lines were crossed this weekend when an art display was set up across from a school.
When parents here at Westside Elementary School dropped their kids off this morning, they noticed about 40 of these dolls painted black across the street. But it's where these dolls were that had concerned parents calling us. In almost every neighborhood,
I think that is bold.
there's a house that stands out from the rest.
Is he crazy? That was my first reaction.
There's no debate what house on Parkwood Avenue in West Baltimore takes that title.
I don't understand what it's trying to send. I mean, this is a black neighborhood, and why would they do that? You know what I mean?
This house stops traffic on roads and on sidewalks.
This is shocking. This is what's going to bring attention to it. This. Not everybody racist, but whoever did this gotta be.
Close to 4 dozen dolls, painted black, hanged from a tree.
This is what it says. It says, rest in peace to those who were lynched.
Angela Mason explains it to the kids who just let out of Westside Elementary School, across the street from the lynching display, which was set up Saturday.
He is definitely trying to get attention and a message across, and he's definitely doing it.
Yeah, it's a dramatic statement, but people being killed is dramatic statements too.
This just incites anger. This incites more hatred, and hatred does not stop other hatred.
Not everybody racist, but whoever did this gotta be.
There's a unique home in every neighborhood, but not debate like this.
I didn't live in this time, but I can relate to this time.
If you think that something's wrong with the police department and how people are being treated, then you need to do it the right way, and this is not the right way.
It's self-explanatory. It's the ugly truth.
In no way, shape, or form is this artwork.
Artwork or not, it did accomplish its goal.
Whether negative or positive, I feel like any attention is good attention.
The artist ignored me today when I tried talking to him about this display, but his neighbors tell me he was inspired after the death at the hands of a police officer of Walter Scott in South Carolina. Reporting in West Baltimore, Paul Gessler, Fox 45 News.
She fulfilled her dream of playing on an Ohio college basketball team and inspired people across the world in the process. Now those who were inspired are remembering Lauryn Hill, the young woman with a heartwarming smile. 19-year-old Lauryn Hill passed away from a rare form of brain cancer last Friday. Before she died, she wanted to play basketball for Mount St. Joseph's in Cincinnati. Last November, she got her chance, much to the delight of those in the Cintas Arena. Tonight, many of those people returned for the visitation services for Lauryn. Hill played in 4 games and scored 10 points before her condition forced her to stop.
I came out here because I admired Lauryn so much for fighting her battle against cancer and doing something positive and raising money for pediatric cancer. I thought she just, forgot her own problems and was thinking of someone else.
Before she passed away, Lauryn set a goal of raising $2.2 million for pediatric cancer research. The 2.2 is for her number 22. To date, roughly $1.5 million has been raised.
A Cleveland mother is facing child endangerment charges after her 2-year-old son falls into the cheetah exhibit at an Ohio zoo. Officials say 38-year-old Michelle Schwab is accused of dangling her son over the railing when he dropped 12 feet into the cheetah habitat. The boy is reported to be in stable condition, but he did break his leg in the fall. Both parents jumped into the exhibit once their child fell in.
My son and I ran up there and we tried to pull the father out. We couldn't get him out of one side. He ran out around another side, but the wall was probably 10 feet. So he had to jump up and grab our hands, and we pulled him out of there.
Well, visitors believe the incident could have been much worse had the cheetahs not stayed away.
A beautiful spring day outside. Boy, did we love this or what?
It was incredible. We're going to check in with Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed for a first look at your Weather Authority forecast, which is changing though, right, Vitas?
Yeah, Jennifer and Kai, we do have some changes that are going to take place as we go through the next few days here. But nonetheless, it looks like we saw a great day today. Looking at some of those highs across the state, 75 degrees in Salisbury, over in downtown Baltimore, 77 down in D.C., 80 degrees. We're headed west a little bit, 79 in Hagerstown, over in Oakland, Garrett County, 77 degrees. So very warm temperatures across central Maryland and northern Virginia in those low 80s, feeling pretty good. Now our temperatures have dropped a bit. We're at 62 degrees in Baltimore, and the clouds are gathering a tad bit as we see our next system pushing in. In fact, looking at HD radar, no precip here, but heading over into Pennsylvania, there are some showers making their way our direction. That will join us late overnight tonight and then into tomorrow morning, giving us a chance for rain showers. So 56 degrees tonight, and we'll see some rain. I'll show you how long the rain will stick around and how that'll affect your day tomorrow coming up.
Parenting and police. Children found 2 blocks from home without their parents. Why some believe free-range parenting is a problem.
And how one restaurant owner is reaching out to help someone in need when the news at 10 continues.
This is a surprise. A deer smashing through a hospital window in Michigan. Hospital workers are used to seeing all kinds of things come through their doors, but this weekend they got a greeting from something they never expected. The deer was caught on surveillance camera here running toward the building. Surveillance video then captured it leaving the building. What happened in between amazed a staff member.
And the deer leapt through the window, over her head, over her desk, exited the building through hallway.
Well, the deer was in the hospital for about 2 minutes before it finally found its way out.
The owner of an Oklahoma restaurant is reaching out to help people in need.
Ashley Jarin says it broke her heart to discover that someone was eating the food from the dumpster behind her restaurant. She noticed the trash bags were torn open and the food was taken out. So she put up a sign on the dumpster and at the front door telling whoever was eating from her trash that they are a human being and worth more than a meal from a dumpster. The sign goes on to say the person is welcome to come in for a free meal.
I think we've all been in that position where we needed somebody's help. And we just needed somebody to extend that hand. And if I could be just that one person to extend that hand to another one human being and make their day just better, then I will definitely do it.
Well, Ashley knows that pride may keep that person away. However, she is hoping that they will take her up on this offer. She says it's the least she can do for someone who is obviously down on their luck.
The reason some adults are trying out coloring books in 10 minutes on Fox 45 News at 10.
New questions tonight about free-range parenting, where police found one couple's children, and what happened next when the News at 10 continues.
And we're going to see some changes coming into play. It was a great day today, but temperature's going to be a little cooler tomorrow, and you're going to need those umbrellas. Dropping the kids off at the bus stop. It's going to be raining, 56 degrees, slightly cooler. Lunchtime, still raining, 60. And pickup, still some showers at 63. I'll show you when that rain's going to get out of here when we warm up again next in my forecast.
The 2015 Maryland General Assembly is now history. Lawmakers adjourned early this morning, but John Rydell reports there were still plenty of clashes between the new governor and Democratic leaders.
Turn side-eye.
As the 2015 session was gavelled to a close, you would have thought that all was right with the world. Less than 12 hours later, Governor Hogan and legislative leaders were busy signing more than 100 bills. The governor focused on the positives.
We ended the session on a high note
by reining in spending, cutting taxes, providing record investment in education, and changing the trajectory of the state.
The governor points to passage of a bill to virtually repeal the so-called rain tax. It removes mandated fees on homeowners to pay for stormwater management, but still requires counties to show how they're funding those projects. But Democrats are still upset that the governor did not provide additional education funding for Baltimore City and 12 counties with a higher cost of living.
It could mean layoffs, it could mean increased class sizes, reduced programming.
And while the governor has declined to say which bills enacted by the General Assembly he may veto, it's clear he is upset with one of those bills, which would mandate additional K-12 education funding for Baltimore City and 12 jurisdictions.
So mandating even further additional increases in spending is a bad idea.
Others are disappointed that the governor did not find money to keep state employees from losing a 2% raise that they received back in January.
We said that we were going to do something, then we give it to you, and then we turn around and take it back. You know, what morale is that sending to state employees?
This is a pay raise that the outgoing governor pushed through in the last few weeks of his administration. Promised the pay raise he had no money to pay for.
Senate Bill 69.
As for next year, the governor is pledging to roll back other tax increases enacted during the O'Malley administration. In Annapolis, John Rydell, Fox 45 News.
A Tulsa County Reserve deputy caught on video killing a suspect during a sting operation has turned himself into authorities.
Mr. Bates, do you want to say anything?
No, let us get our job done. We're going inside.
Understood.
73-year-old Reserve Deputy Robert Bates is charged with manslaughter. This video released by the sheriff's office shows Eric Harris in what officials say is an illegal gun sale. Just after Harris is taken down, someone shouts taser. At that point, investigators say Bates accidentally drew his gun instead of his taser. He shoots Harris, killing him. Critics question whether Bates, a 73-year-old insurance company CEO, had the know-how to be a deputy. Bates' attorney says he was experienced and qualified for the role.
They've taken the fact that this man has been good to the community and has been benevolent to the community and has been a great citizen for our town and made it something bad or sinister, and that's the unfortunate thing. That's all we have. Thank you very much.
Well, Bates told investigators he was startled and left in a state of shock and disbelief when he realized he used his gun instead of his taser. Police say they are investigating the deadly shooting at a North Carolina community college as a possible hate crime. The suspect, 20-year-old Kenneth Stansel III, was arrested after he was found sleeping on the beach in Daytona Beach, Florida, about 550 miles away from Wayne Community College in Goldsboro. Authorities say he shot and killed longtime school employee Ron Lane, who ran the campus print shop. Stansel used to work for Lane, but was dismissed from the school's work-study program for too many absences. Police won't say what hate crime is being investigated, but co-workers say the victim was gay.
The House Oversight Committee is looking into claims of DEA sex parties. An internal review of the Drug Enforcement Administration found that agents attended sex parties with prostitutes while working in Colombia. Now, the parties were allegedly paid for by drug cartels. The Justice Department is launching its own investigation into the DEA's disciplinary procedures and its security clearances.
Some of these agencies compromised our national security and then essentially got a vacation. The punishment for engaging in this type of behavior was 2 to 10 days off paid leave, or non-paid leave. That sounds like a vacation to me.
The report also says agents from the ATF and the U.S. Marshal Service had inappropriate sexual relationships with subordinates, in most cases without any repercussions.
During this hour, 150 years ago, John Wilkes Booth shot President Abraham Lincoln. Tonight, Ford's Theater is giving tours and performances around the clock to commemorate the anniversary of Lincoln's assassination. The theater will host a tribute performance for Lincoln, followed by a candlelight vigil outside. The National Portrait Gallery will simulcast the tribute for free. The National Park Service will host a wreath-laying ceremony at 7:22 a.m., the moment when President Lincoln died.
Soul legend Percy Sledge, best known for his classic hit, When a Man Loves a Woman, dies at the age of 73 after a long battle with cancer.
When a man loves a woman, can't keep his mind on nothing else. He'll gonna change the world for the good things found.
Sledge caught his break in 1966 after that debut single topped the R&B and pop charts for multiple weeks. Thursday will be the 49th anniversary of the song's release. Percy Sledge was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2005 and earned the Rhythm and Blues Foundation's Career Achievement Award. The singer passed away this morning in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is survived by his wife and children. You're about to see video of baggage handlers caught red-handed rifling through luggage.
Drew Griffin shows us the video and what you can do to make sure you have all your stuff when you land.
These are airport baggage handlers, thieves inside the belly of a plane, rifling through passengers' bags. What are they looking for? The valuables that you packed, that you thought would be safe. But in never-before-seen video obtained by CNN, undercover cameras and the police are catching the baggage handlers in the act, stealing on planes and in supposedly secure areas of the airport. The video even caught a security guard apparently in on the act.
My reaction to seeing those videos is, I was really disgusted.
It's pretty incredible, isn't it?
The video comes from a sting set up by Miami-Dade police to stop a rash of thefts. 31 ramp workers and baggage handlers have been arrested since 2012, caught on camera, red-handed.
And when you catch them in the act, like you did on these videos, what's the response?
A lot of times there is no response, other than shock that they were caught. And that's okay with us. As many of them that we can take away off of the airfield, the better it is for everybody that travels through Miami International Airport.
But it's certainly not just happening in Miami. A CNN analysis finds over the past 5 years, nearly 31,000 passenger claims of items missing from luggage filed with the TSA. About 25,000 of those claims alleged valuables missing from checked bags. The rest, they disappeared from a TSA checkpoint. 513 TSA officers have been fired for theft since 2002, including one who hid stolen items in this secret compartment. It adds up to $2.5 million worth of passenger belongings gone. These petty thefts are a big deal to police chiefs like Pat Gannon at Los Angeles International Airport.
I believe there is a connection between baggage thefts and potential terrorism.
Gannon and others believe stealing an iPad, rifling through bags, is a potential first step towards something much worse.
I think that is it's a breakdown in their moral fiber, and that's why we take it very seriously here. That if we don't pay attention to the small things that happen around here, that it will lead to much larger things.
The top airport for items reported missing from luggage, JFK in New York. So many insider baggage thefts were going on here, the airline LL set up its own hidden cameras and found workers rifling through luggage, stealing money out of wallets. 7 baggage handlers were arrested for stealing iPhones, iPads, watches, rings, cameras. In Los Angeles, police last year raided homes of baggage handlers. According to the airport police chief, the case led to a major reduction in missing items from luggage.
We cut thefts in those 2 terminals by nearly 60% because of doing that aggressive investigative work.
Insider threat is very scary for us in law enforcement, and certainly taking somebody's cell phone, iPad, computer, what's next?
For the traveler, the concerns can be eliminated with one simple tip. Don't pack anything of value inside a checked bag. And in that last-minute push to check bags at the gate, make sure you remove anything that a common thief would find appealing, because those thieves are everywhere, even in the belly of an airplane. Drew Griffin, CNN, Miami.
Makes you think before you pack up to go on vacation next time, huh?
Eye-opening story.
Yeah.
I mean, how much do you need on vacation anyway? Just
That's right.
grab your
Just the
swimsuit.
and the flip-flops.
That's right.
You're good to go.
That's right. You're good to go. Just leave it all at home. All right. Taking a look at, we're not going to get the flip-flops tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow. Right now, you still need the rain boots because we do still have that rain out there. I had promised that it would be gone by this time, but we have one last wave coming through. It's not heavy, but you can see Westminster right now is getting a rain shower moving through, and also through Harford County, we're getting a little bit of rain, and down toward Annapolis as well. This one last wave coming through, and then after that, I promise it looks like we'll see some sunshine in the morning. As far as widen out that view just a tad, just to see that most of the moisture is gone, and like I said, we are drying out. Things out to the west looking better and better. So that is the good news. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures outside. And right now, you can see there was a very successful game. Beat those Yankees. All right, how about that? Temperatures in the 50s, 57 degrees, and no rain delay, so that was good news. Dew point 50 degrees, and the winds are out of the northwest at 5. The front is through, so we will be seeing some drier air. 52 in Cockeysville with the cloud cover. We're hanging on to some warmer temperatures. 52 in Baltimore. Bel Air coming in at 51. Annapolis 52 degrees. The radar and satellite showing that we do have a front that is basically out to sea, and it's dragging behind it upper level systems continuing to push that moisture into our region. You can see that flow of moisture coming up from the southeast. We expect a little bit of a break in it by tomorrow morning, so we will see a break and then more rain coming in for the end of the week. All right, here's a look at the temperatures. We expect that clearing, so I'm not going to show you the computer model forecast for the rain because mainly it just shows clearing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the computer model forecast for the temperatures. Your morning lows in the mid 40s, 45 for Westminster, 46 for Cockeysville, 48 for Baltimore, 45 for Bel Air. Now, here's what we want to see, those temperatures in the upper 60s for tomorrow afternoon. We may see a little bit of cloud cover, but we'll also see some nice warm temperatures. So it was gorgeous, 77 on Monday. We'll be in the 60s for tomorrow, but we do expect still it to be a fairly nice day. Some clearing in the morning and then a little bit of cloud cover in the afternoon. So a few showers are clearing out for tonight. Tomorrow 69 and sunshine in the morning, a little bit more cloud cover coming in the afternoon. We will have a light breeze. We do have that northerly wind about 8 to 15 miles an hour. So that is a little bit of a hitch in the forecast, but overall it looks like it's going to be a nice set of days before more rain coming in. So when's that going to arrive? I'll have that coming up in the 7-day. Back to you.
The health benefits of being thankful in 10 minutes on Fox 45 News at 10.
And nearly 300 girls kidnapped in Nigeria 1 year ago today. What may have happened to them when the News at 10 continues?
Bring back our girls remains the rally cry for hundreds of girls abducted by Boko Haram from their school in northeastern Nigeria. They've been gone for a year. John Huddy investigates what may have happened to them.
Hundreds of girls in Nigeria remain missing, taken from their school by Islamic militants. It's been a year since their abduction. Now, demonstrators are staging a protest marking the first anniversary of their disappearance.
Knowing the antecedent of Boko Haram members and having your daughter with them for 365 days is not a thing that you can wish for the worst of your enemy.
While admitting it's no easy task, Nigeria's president-elect Muhammadu Buhari has vowed to make every effort to free the schoolgirls, and protesters want to hold him to his promise.
We are hoping that Mr. President will keep his word by bringing the girls alive.
The fate of the abducted schoolgirls and the slew of other women taken by Boko Haram remains uncertain. According to a report by Amnesty International, many have been forced into sexual slavery and trained to fight.
I was among the girls trained to shoot. I was also trained how to use bombs and how to attack a village.
The fate of the missing girls has garnered worldwide attention. Demonstrators in France are gathering in front of the Eiffel Tower to mark the one-year anniversary, and the Obama administration is demanding their safe return.
On this anniversary call for all hostages held by Boko Haram, including these girls, to be released immediately without preconditions.
The State Department adds that a number of governmental agencies are helping to search, train, and equip teams that are trying to not only rescue the girls, but anyone kidnapped by Boko Haram. In Jerusalem, John Huddy, Fox News.
kind of a rainy day, but fortunately that's going to move on out of here.
Absolutely. Here's meteorologist Dawn Brown with your 7-day Weather Authority forecast. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, and you know, I'm hoping that this comes true because I'm really placing all bets on this. With sunshine tomorrow and a high of 69, we do have increasing clouds for Thursday and a high of 67. Now Friday and Saturday we have a couple of disturbances moving through that could provide a small chance of rain, about a 30% chance on Friday, Saturday about a 40% chance. Best chance of rain coming in on Monday. That's a fairly strong upper level low that's going to be coming through in a high of 67 degrees. And really all I care about though is if it's sunny tomorrow. It looks like it's going to happen. Keeping my fingers crossed on that. High of 69. Back to you guys.
The Orioles' hottest hitter goes deep again. Bruce Cunningham has the highlights next in Sports Unlimited.
Plus, being thankful may benefit your heart. The health factors it eases that contribute to your heart's condition.
The Orioles bullpen blew a winnable game Monday night, so they were looking to bounce back in tonight's Game 2 of the series, and the hottest hitter in the entire world got things going early on. Adam Jones playing out of his mind right now. 11 hits in his last 15 at-bats, 8 RBI and 4 homers in his last 5 games. There's the latest, bottom of the first, and the Orioles jump out 1-0. Then in the fourth, now 2-0 thanks to a Jones sac fly. Caleb Joseph rips this one to right. Delman Young comes around with the nice slide. The Birds up 3-0 in the 6th inning. A very big night for Gonzalez. This was the only bad moment. Severna Parks Mark Teixeira doubles to right field corner. Jacoby Ellsbury scores. After that, he calmed down and was brilliant. A career-high 10 strikeouts in 7 innings of work. And the Birds take Game 2 of the series 4-3 behind a very big night from Gonzo. Gonzalez just magnificent. 7 innings, 4 hits allowed, just the 1 run, and struck out a career-high 10 batters. Jones, as we mentioned, with home runs in 4 of the last 5 games. He also has 8 RBI on the year. Zach Britton picked up the save. Series finale tomorrow night at Camden Yards. Hear what the Orioles have to say about tonight's big win and our Prep Player of the Week. That's coming up at 11:30 as Sports Unlimited continues.
A breath test may be able to indicate whether someone may be at higher risk for stomach cancer. There is no effective early screening test for stomach cancer, so it's usually diagnosed when it's too late for effective treatment. Israeli scientists developed a test that senses tiny changes in the level of organic compounds in your breath. They tried it out on nearly 500 people, and the test was 92% accurate at judging which people had some level of stomach cancer. A larger study needs to be conducted to confirm these results.
A new study shows pain reliever acetaminophen not only reduces pain but dulls your emotions as well. Researchers from Ohio State University had participants view pleasant and disturbing photos after taking the drug or a placebo. Those who had taken acetaminophen did not react as strongly to the photos. Authors conclude that the drug reduces physical, even psychological pain, but also reduces your positive emotional response.
Being thankful may benefit heart patients. Researchers conducted psychological tests on almost 200 heart failure patients who didn't have any symptoms such as shortness of breath or fatigue. Patients with higher levels of gratitude were associated with better mood, better sleep, less fatigue, and less inflammation, factors that can worsen heart failure. The team notes the study doesn't prove gratitude causes improvements in health, but health markers, again, things like mood, sleep, and fatigue.
A fresh type of announcement, how this couple introduced their child that's become an internet sensation.
And coming up in just 5 minutes on the Late Edition, a big change, the dubious list that Cuba is no longer on. Yeah. And a close encounter with a mountain lion, where the big cat is hiding out in the effort to get him to go home. A couple in Happy Valley, Oregon take a fresh approach to announce that they're expecting their first child.
I woke up in the morning about 7 or 8 and I thought to myself, oh man, I'm late. Looked at the test ticket, was finally there. The little plus sign, we're now 3 not a pair.
Melissa, and I guess he's Jazzy Jeff. Melissa and Jesse Meek make a full rap to the tune of Fresh Prince. They posted the video on YouTube about a week ago, and the video has gone viral. The couple says they did it for fun and wanted their family to get the news in a fun way. The Meeks say they might even do a sequel when it comes time to reveal the gender of their child.